The AK was designed with the most severe Russian winters in mind. The Soviets thought of everything, including lessons learned from World War II, to keep this weapon as reliable as possible. The biggest advantage of the AK is its durability. On most models, the bore, chamber, and the gas piston are all hard chrome plated. This is to reduce rust and corrosion from years of wear and tear. The magazines are built like a cement mixer. The sheet metal steel is very durable, and you really have to try to put a dent in one of these. The large amount of gas used to cycle the action, the generous tolerances in and around moving parts, and the tapered cartridge case all play critical roles in the AK's ability to continue to feed and function despite sand, dust, ice, water that would shut most other guns down. When you're in combat and you pull the trigger and your gun doesn't go bang, you've had a bad day, but with an AK that generally does not happen. When I think of the performance of the AK, three things come to mind. Number one, ease of use. Number two, reliability. And number three, the 7.62 cartridge is made for assaulting.
A lot of gun geeks won't even pick up one of these things, but I know from personal experience, it'll more than get the job done.
The more you understand about fighting with a gun, the more you come to respect what an AK is all about.
Larry and I are going to take our two AKs out into the playground and see how things shake out.
Game on. Although for most battlefield situations, the AK is plenty accurate, it does have some limitations. For instance, the sight radius is relatively short, as well as the rear sight being a long way from the shooter's eye. That makes picking up the sights and the target difficult.
Without question, the M4 is more accurate than most AKs. But remember, when it comes to accuracy of most military small arms, it's the shooter, not the gun, that makes the difference.
There's a common misconception that an AK is an inaccurate rifle, but this has to be an urban legend that originated with people who have never been properly trained on one. The fact of the matter is, the gun is more than adequately accurate for the given task.
The AK was designed to be optimally effective out to 200, so a 50-meter shot is no problem.
Although you are somewhat limited by the sights, with a properly zeroed AK, consistent shots out to 100 yards should be no problem at all.
From the standing or kneeling position, the AK functions as well as any other assault rifle.
But it's the prone position where you start to have some issues. Some people think the way to solve this problem is by shooting the gun on its side and roll over prone. Let me explain to you why in most situations that's hokey. Unless you're shooting under a car where you have no other option, this can cause some problems, like kicking brass off the ground back into the gun to cause a malfunction. It's also much more difficult to shoot this way. Think about driving your car with your head twisted to the side. And last but not least, guns live in a vertical world. The sights are above the barrel and they're intended to be shot that way if at all possible. The height of the magazine means you can only go so low to the ground. This forces you higher, thus exposing you to enemy fire.